I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
Mos Eisley Spaceport. You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Welcome back, Rebels. Today we're going to look at the Black Series Djarin helmet, the Mandalorian series. This is probably one of my favourite ones. It's just the way they've done the finish on this is fantastic. From a distance, it looks metal. You'd swear it was metal. I'm a bit of an exclusive collector of Hasbro Black Series. Reason being, in the lockdowns, I always wanted a Boba Fett helmet. I bought one, thought that would quench my appetite. I thought that'll do. I'll have that one helmet and we can move on. 22 helmets later and 3 years. I've got more on back order. It's safe to say it's a bit of an obsession now. I like the Hasbro, reason being value for what you pay. I think you can't beat it. There's cheaper brands out there, but they're not as good quality. Are Hasbro screen accurate? No. But realistically, who's going to come into your house, look at your collection and say, that looks a little bit oversized, or that looks a little bit undersized? Those people are few and far between. I think having children, this is the perfect compromise. It's something that sits on the shelf, but it's also something that's priced at a point where they can pick it up, they can try it on, they can play with it. It's not going to cause any major dramas. So saying that, let's start and look at the helmet. The Hasbro Series Djarin helmet. Let's talk a little bit about the box first though. Now, I don't tend to keep mine in the original format, and in fact, I break them down to store in my loft, or attic as you call it in the US. What I will do, however, is I'll stick some images up here, courtesy of the Hasbro Pulse website, for you to look at while I continue to chat. When you do receive your helmet, they're always wrapped securely in a protective foam. The attention to detail is outstanding, even at first glance. In this particular helmet, the clean, fresh look is on point, capturing the essence of the start of Din Djarin's journey across the galaxy. The helmet is made of high quality material and it feels sturdy in the hands. It's not too heavy, which is great for those long trots across Tatooine, and the interior is lined with a comfortable padding, ensuring a snug fit for various head sizes. I'll overlay some close-ups of the inside for you right now. Okay, now let's take a closer look at some of the helmet's features. On the front, we have the iconic T-shaped visor, which is made from a dark tinted material that gives it a sense of mystery and intimidation. The visor is clear to look through from the inside, allowing for easy visibility for when you're cosplaying or storing the helmet on your shelf. It's dark enough though to hide the wearer's face, giving it that classic look. Moving to the sides, we have the signature earpiece. They are perfectly designed with the detail paneling and the familiar LED light at the top that lights up with the press of a button. I tend to leave the batteries out of my helmets though, because the little man always presses them, leaves them on, and they die. It also prevents any battery leakage. And at the back of the helmet, we have the famous vent feature that all Mandalorian helmets have. I'm not sure if it's a trick of the eye on this particular helmet, but it looks a little bit more shinier in certain lights compared to the satin finish on the rest of the main body. Talking of the finish, it's hard to believe that at first glance this isn't metal. Hasbro have done a fantastic job of creating that illusion. Now Rebels, the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's put this helmet on and see how it looks. Okay, so this isn't going to fit on with my glasses. I've tried it before, so I'll take them off and I'll show you what it looks like. Wow, this helmet looks absolutely incredible. The attention to detail is truly remarkable. I can see why this is a must-have for any Star Wars collector or cosplayer. The fit is snug, and I feel like I'm ready to take on a galaxy alongside Djarin himself. It's fully adjustable via the inner strap, and the built-in padding adds additional support. I don't feel that it slips around, and I certainly can turn my head freely. Visibility is great, and I don't feel any claustrophobia. The light is easy to reach while wearing the helmet, and I feel if you were doing a budget Mando cosplay that this would be a perfect addition to finish it off. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to score it. So we're going to score it on 5 criteria: sculpt, wearability, paint finish, screen accuracy, and price point. First one up is sculpt. I'm going to give this 8 out of 10. The reason being, I think it's worthy at that score. It's almost perfect, bar maybe the fiddly adjustment inside the helmet and the fact that it may be loose on some heads. So sculpt to me is the overall look of the helmet. Are there any seam lines or anything like that that just don't make sense? This particular helmet, perfect. Okay, we're on to wearability. This I'm going to score 7 out of 10. This thing wears great if you can adjust it correctly. It's light enough for most, but heavy enough to feel a quality piece. Would I wear it all day? No, probably not. But in reality, nobody is going to a con and wearing this all day. Okay, third criteria, paint finish. Hasbro, I'm giving you 9 out of 10 for this one. You have knocked it out of the park with this. It looks metal, and that's not an easy task to pull off with a mass-produced product. I do have some gripes. I have 2. My first one is this thing is a fingerprint magnet. Anything shiny will be. It's not the end of the world, but it does impact it. Second of all is weathering. Now, this is a nice shiny helmet. I do think though it needed a few little grease marks in the creases, around the ears, around the top of the visor. It would have just given it that more authentic look. It would have made it perfect. However, adding grease marks or a little bit of weathering is an easy addition for those confident enough to add it after the fact. Not a deal breaker, 9 out of 10. Okay, criteria 4, screen accuracy. For this, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Okay, look, nothing mass produced will ever be 100% screen accurate. Nothing at this price point, which we'll talk about next, will either. But for the money and the average Joe, this thing is unmistakably the Mandalorian. Nobody you show it to on your shelf is ever arguing with you over it being oversized or the wrong colour on a specific point. For me, it's another win. Okay, criteria number 5, price point. 9 out of 10 for me on this one, Hasbro. This cost me £99, so roughly $120 in the US. It may seem expensive to some, but for what you get, I think it's a realistic and at a point where it is truly a budget collectible. And hey, look, at the end of the day, that's what this channel's about, right? Hasbro, 9 out of 10. Okay, so total score of 41 out of a possible 50. You know, there you have it. It's a pretty respectable score, that. And quite possibly a tough one to beat. Let's see. Well, that wraps up the review of this Hasbro series Din Djarin helmet. I must say, I'm really impressed with the craftsmanship and attention to detail on this particular piece. It's definitely a worthy addition to any Star Wars collection. Remember, Rebels, you can find this helmet at your local retailer, but be quick. It tends to sell out fast. If you want to be the ultimate Mando fan, then this helmet is definitely one to get. Right, well that's it. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Cantina Rebels. And, as always, from me and mine to you and yours, may the Force be with you.